Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. On the couch with us and hanging out with us today. Very good friend of the show. We don't know which personalities he brought, but is our very good friend, comedian and podcaster, Mr. Ross McCoy.
And winner of the inaugural 2024 Tom and Dan Question Off.
Yes, yes. The bringer of the best questions. Yes. Good to see you, dude. How you been?
You guys, awesome.
Good. We got to hang out a little bit with you yesterday at the, I'll say it, my new favorite theme park.
The best theme park in Orlando.
And I'm going to put it out into the universe.
Absolutely.
After hanging out with Mike, park director Mike, I am ready to work with Gatorland. They're awesome. That place is, it is my daughter's. Maisie's obsessed.
Just walking around as a regular guy,
Yeah.
I say the same thing.
Yeah.
It is the best theme park in Orlando.
It's awesome.
Well, huge thanks to Just Call Mo and Mo DeWitt for putting on his Christmas party at Gatorland.
Dude,
we're
Mo,
all out there.
You couldn't have picked a better spot to have did he rent out the whole park?
No, it was just basically he got a bunch of tickets
Don't tell my daughter that. I lied and said he rented out the entire park.
I could be wrong, but I think there was other people there.
Don't tell Maisie, because according to her, because she's like, Mo did this? I was like, yeah, Mo did this. Mo's the most powerful attorney in town.
Remember, he used to do it at a different lower rent theme park down on the iDrive area?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just happen to know that, they were boning him on the tickets. He would purchase a big block of tickets, and people would show up and be like, "Hey, thanks, Mo," and get a soda and be like, "See you later," and it would just cost him an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
So I think probably Thebus went to the Gatorland and they got a good deal.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say that if you're a business, always bone them on the tickets. Always, because that's how you make your money, right? Is boning them on the tickets.
Daniel and I got to hang out with Savannah, which was
that's a long time coming, dude.
I know. I hadn't seen Savannah in more than a decade.
Yeah, me too.
Even though she's been working at Gatorland, we were talking yesterday for 7 years now, and she is a legit. It's like walking around with a celebrity.
It is.
At Gatorland. Every single person stops her for a picture.
Here's something I know.
To talk to her.
If there's a child or a woman in a porta-scoot, they're stopping Savannah.
Yeah, everybody knows her.
Everybody stopped her. It was crazy.
Her social media following is bananas.
Yeah,
obviously I follow her and I've seen her build it over the years, but it's gigantic.
It's impressive.
And by the way, I meant to talk to her about that. I'm like, you should start a podcast and
No,
Gator
she got
podcast.
No time for it.
I mean, you could make some good money doing a Gator podcast. She knows how to talk.
I think they might actually. I think Gatorland might actually have one. And one of the cool things that she was telling me is that, she wasn't even supposed to work that day. She did their live. And then I had hit her up just saying hey, I'm going to be out there. And she's like, nobody told me Mo was doing the event. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, and so, it was very nice of her to basically come in on our off day and, hang out with us. It was really cool.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was nice.
Here's where I screwed up because I blame my wife because
I like that. Hold on. That's what I did.
I had planned to go and I was going to take my boys. They'd never been to Gatorland. And then Crystal was like, I'm getting my...
Were you telling them on the way there? One time I walked across this pond in a bear suit.
No, I told them.
You got to tell them.
I told them. I showed them the exact area.
Yeah.
Which...
Now, you know what I said?
They're
I told
never
Maisie,
that impressed.
I told Maisie you faked it.
No, how dare you? I'm going to tell her. I'm going to drive to her school and leave a note at the front desk.
Kidding, I did say that.
I was there.
I would never do that to you, dude. I would never lie about one of your stunts.
I was there that day. He did it for real, but there were 8 guys with sticks also in the water with him.
Were you there that day?
Yeah. That was the first time I ever went to Gatorland. Brought my kids. We had a great time.
I think I hung out with you because didn't I, and you got a better memory than me, didn't I have the old Vio that eventually went to you? And I was doing a live stream of it, right? Wasn't that one of the first times I was dabbling in live streaming?
It's possible.
I think it was because I remember you there. I absolutely remember you there because up to that point, we had seen each other a couple of times, and one had been like a Predators game. Or
Johnny's once or twice.
Yeah, and then there. And yeah, I totally remember that day.
That kind of makes sense then, yeah.
And I remember we stood in there was an area that was like a pavilion area that was in the center.
Yes.
And we were there, and I had a computer set up with a camera so we could try to live stream you walking.
Okay.
And it was the first time it's 05, 06.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Is that right?
I was talking to Savannah about.
It's gotta be. Yeah.
It was on Justin TV. Somebody in the chat.
Oh,
Thank you, EJ. EJ hit it. Yeah.
Oh, that's old.
It would have been on Justin TV, which,
Jeez.
believe it or not, is now Restream, I think. Or no.
Ustream, didn't they absorb it?
Maybe that's what it was.
And then I don't even know if
Ustream.
Ustream's around anymore.
Don't know.
You know, it's funny about how
Twitch is, I think, Justin TV.
like urban legends and the telephone game, and they spread to a grandiose, ridiculous. I was talking to Savannah, and she's like, "Oh, people still talk about the time because that was before she worked there."
Yeah, it was. She was in California.
Yeah.
We determined that.
And but she was like, "Oh, people still talk about the time you walked across the pond with a meat belt." And I was like, I didn't have a meat belt.
Like Billy the Kid.
It got escalated.
Yeah, it's just like Billy the Kid. Yes, he
Yeah.
was a murderer. Yes, he was a vile individual. But did he gun down 21 guys single-handedly? No, he did not.
And
I like that, though. Meat belt it is. We got to keep that up.
And it seemed like
That's got to feel cool to you, right?
no.
That the legend is still, well, yeah, that's right. Nothing means anything to us. It would mean something if it were me.
Because the reality was it wasn't that dangerous, and I was just, and there were people in like the Gatorland, they were in the water with me, like looking out. I guess I could have stepped on a gator, although it was winter time, so they're all kind of docile, and they're well
they were all
fed,
up and like sunning, weren't they? Or like we could see most of them.
There were some in the water around, and I guess I could, like, they could have messed up, and one could have. I mean, the water is doo-doo black.
There wasn't no danger.
I mean,
Right.
like,
I mean, at its least, it's just a horrible thing to do. Like you're walking through turd water.
And
it stinks.
I guess a giant gator could have like come over and grabbed a hold of me, and there was no.
Got you by the meat belt.
Oh man,
it would have death rolled my legs off.
Yeah.
It'd
be a different show for sure.
They didn't have like guns ready to get, like there were a couple guys with sticks. They could have never.
Oh, they'll let it kill you.
me.
They gotta let it kill you. They have to let it kill you to calm it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but all in all, like it wasn't like I jumped into that pond and started splashing around and all the gator,
But you should say that. That's what I would do. Also, Andrea asked your boys at Gatorland if you told them the story, and they both rolled their eyes. And that is not cool. I'm going to tell you the truth. I would not lie about one of your stories to Maisie because they do mean, dude, they may not mean anything to you, but they mean something to me and Andrea because we set up all those boxes and watched you do it. I was very proud and happy to be a part of it.
That one my kids saw, but the one that really stuck with them, one time we went to pick up like a T-shirt or something from the prize window, and it happened to be the day you were flying around on the outside of that homemade helicopter around the Clear Channel building. And that one my kid still talks about.
That was 100% real. Yeah. I had now. I guess I said I was standing. I was putting the bear suit out, like I was standing on the side or whatever.
Right.
Was this when you were lying to Catherine Brown and saying that you just stuffed the bear suit with newspaper?
Yeah. I just used to tell them that like this is all planned and whatever.
He lied to her one time and straight up said like, "Oh yeah, I'm not even in that. It's just the bear suit. We stuffed it with newspaper and they just duct taped it so it looks like I'm riding around." Yeah. But it was you, right?
Yeah. With the helicopter, there was no one else, and then the guy landed somewhere in Longwood, at some airport,
like a homemade.
He flew like up along I-4 and traffic was like, what? Like traffic was all snarled up from it.
Yeah.
That's
a miniature helicopter.
It was a tiny helicopter with a man in a bear suit hanging onto the outside. Yeah.
I remember it was the first time where the guy's like, "Where's the Clear Channel building?" And I'm looking down from the top. I'm like, I can't tell from the top. And then we had to go like I'm going to work. Or like we were going down I-4 and I was like, take a right.
That's what I do. That's what I do in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I go to work in an F-16.
And I'm like,
that's what you do.
I'm like, it's the first left off of Lake Destiny or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, that must be it. Anyway, but Gatorland was fun.
Yeah,
and
it was a really good time.
My sons want to go back and do the zip lining because we didn't get to do like the rock wall, the zip lining.
Well, the zip line, I don't know if you know that. Even if they had wanted to do it, it was sold out.
Oh, back to
that thing. Like apparently, it's like one of the best in like top 10 in the world.
Top rated in the world. One of the signs said. My kid did it.
Yeah, I remember I took Crystal for her 30th birthday. I told you the zip lining over
You finished the end of the Friday Free Show by telling us what a great memory of you renting a Camaro, black with an orange or red racing stripe, and you took your wife. Was it convertible?
No, it wasn't convertible.
All right.
30th birthday?
30th birthday.
That's so weird. My 30th birthday, my wife, I got drunk, and my wife talked me into going and doing the slingshot on iDrive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So back to where I screwed up. So Crystal getting her hair done, and so I was waiting for her because she wanted to go, and then
What, are you at the salon?
No, but she was
sitting
like
there reading a magazine.
The check-in was from 11 to 1 and with Mo's Christmas party, and so she was like, just wait and we'll show up. Like, I'm going to get home at 12:30, and I'm waiting, and she's like, it'll be 12:45. I'm like, we're going to miss the check-in, and then I'm going to have to text Bustecker, like, they're going to be gone already.
Oh, right.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Then I can't get in.
Yeah.
And then I have to buy tickets.
But then you're not allowed to go to where we're at because it's like a private event or something.
Yeah.
You got your tickets, you're standing there, the boys don't know what's happening.
And so anyway, I should have gone early because I saw Daniel went early and then met up with Savannah and got to do the full behind the scenes
everything by the time
experience. And I saw
I felt bad.
Maisie was feeding chicken to we're talking something like Savannah does on her Instagram, you know, with some crazy giant alligator.
A 16-footer maybe? It was
big.
big.
It was humongous. But Savannah's very much like Tom Van. Savannah's like, come on, Maisie, let's just feed chicken. You know, like it was like, who cares? Let's go.
Sure.
It's Maisie and Savannah running up to the front. Maisie's just throwing chicken like crazy. We must have thrown like 20 pieces of chicken. It's awesome. Like we're throwing chicken to every gator. I never made it in any gator's mouth. I am so bad. So bad.
Now, were you nervous at all?
You know, I'm not there because of all the Gatorland folks. Because they're not nervous. And they make so many jokes. And I like the jokes that it offsets, I think, any nerves that I would have. Like, they're always making a joke like, hey, come over here. You don't want to get your leg bitten off like the last guy. You know, they're always making a joke. So, no, I don't really feel nervous.
Now, even though...
A little bit with May, though, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, because when I saw Maisie feeding the chicken
was up close,
to that giant gator... I did think if my sons were in that, even with Maisie and seeing her do it, my nerves, I get a little nervous, which sounds weird, but
I don't think it's weird at all.
I'm doing the math of Savannah is a professional.
She is.
But at one point in time, she was a radio professional.
Right.
And I used to work with her.
Right.
And all we did is smoke cigarettes.
Which really makes her qualified, actually. To me, that's a plus.
And did not take it very seriously at all.
Yeah.
Even though this could be totally different, I just thought, what if she didn't know that much about the Gators? I know she does, but, smoking cigarettes. Like, man, what if you messed up? Like, this is your whole life, the giant gator.
There's a range of emotions here. Andrea's in the chat room. I'd be interested to know if she was concerned at all. I really wasn't concerned because... the staff is so good. So I'll put that out there. But I guess, a little bit when I was standing back just filming and they were up front, a little bit. And then Maisie, though, zero. Like, Maisie was like, game on. This is the best day of my life. All she wanted to do is to hold a baby alligator. She got to do it. She did that ear-piercing shatter scream when Savannah's like, let me go get you a baby gator. And it was like, oh, my God, somebody just exploded. Somebody shot a gun in our car. It was crazy how wild she got.
And then you got to go on that island. I saw your picture. I was like, I'm missing.
I'm sorry.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
No, what are you sorry for? I'm the one that showed up late. That's what the denizens get there early. They get the early bird gets the pictures.
Yeah, we do. We got to go
get
out
the
on
special treatment.
We got to go out on the 1960s styled alligator Christmas Island, the one that Savannah's always posing in. Like, she's got the beautiful Santa outfit on, Mrs. Claus, and we get to go out there with her family and take a photo. We sent all of this to Andrea's dad. Now you will be interested to know that Andrea's dad not so happy with us about our decision to let Maisie throw chicken at gators. We got an earful from Grandpa.
He's a nervous granddad.
He gave us Jim told us he did not like that. In no certain terms. He did not like his granddaughter.
Grandparents get nervous.
I got the same thing from my mom.
Interesting.
When I called her and told her that her grandson had ziplined out over alligators that day. She said, I would never let one of my kids do that. And I was like, Mom, you used to send me to the store for cigarettes when I was 5. Like, I don't think you can talk.
Yeah, grandparents do forget what they let their own kids do, and then when they get older, they get ultra nervous about like all these things that they were perfectly fine with. Like if you back in the 80s, they would let you zip line. I mean, they would let you walk like hand over hand, with no safety gear over the damn gator lake.
No, literally, my mom would turn me out into the street. Like as a below 10-year-old kid, she would turn me out in the streets and be like, "Don't get kidnapped or nothing." Like, that was the safety procedure.
Yeah.
Tracy in our Twitch chat room says that her son, one of his friends, saw us taking the photo and said, "Whoa, I would not take my kid to that Christmas tree." Yeah, so like we were all getting it was the tree of judgment. Like when you were on the, plus there's like the largest, I believe it was the largest animal they have. Well, one of the largest ones. There was a giant crocodile in the photo. It's all on my Instagram if you want to check it out. Just search Mediocre Dan. But it was a massive crocodile. I think his name is Luther, and he is he weighs what, 9 times me? Like, I don't know, 6 times me?
So
something
much
like
more.
something insane.
Some of them are the size of cars.
Like this guy
so big.
he's the biggest animal I think I've ever been that close to that could literally roll me up good.
Did you guys go up to the top of the observation tower?
We didn't make it up there.
If you go up there and look at the big pond, there's like another 4 acres of pond just full of like 18-foot alligators. They have so many alligators. It's insane.
Yeah. They have 230 in that main area. And then they have over 2,000 across the property. Is that right? Does that sound right? Maybe that's right. I don't know if that's right.
So they also have the albino gators, and there's someone in this world with albino gator boots, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. And how rare are they?
I believe it's Coco's dad has those, right? I mean, if there's ever anybody gonna have the white alligator boots, it would be the bad guy from Coco, who we all thought was a good guy.
Because they won't survive in the wild, obviously, because albino gators will get eaten by other predators because they can't hide.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, when they get in captivity, like, then they breed them. So I'm sure they've been bred before, and then eventually, after they die, they sell their skin.
And you saw the difference in the white gators and the albino gators. It's like the albino gators have a condition where you can actually see the blood vessels in their eyes, so they have like pink eyes. But is it leucistic? I'm saying it wrong.
That's right. Yeah.
But the white gators. They have like bright blue, crazy blue eyeballs.
Yeah.
So the white gators end up being more rare actually than the albino gators. And they have all of them there.
And they had a sign up. The one they had the 2 across the street from each other, and the one pen was supposed to have 2 in them, and they had a sign up saying one of them was out breeding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They also have the gator with the one jaw that's missing its top, basically the whole jaw.
Jawline, she's awesome.
We saw one that was probably like 14 feet long, and it would have been like 18 feet, except 4 feet of tail was missing.
Oh, really?
You get a lot of rescues. And they kind of celebrate the rescues there. Like when you're walking around, there'll be like a star, and then they'll say like, "Oh, we got Pops in this time, and he came to us, and he's missing a foot." I think it's kind of cool. What a great place to go to end out your days, though.
Dude, it sounds like you guys missed the best part of Gatorland. Did you guys do Capybara Experience?
No. We were going to have to come back for that. Maisie was getting tired.
It was so good.
Tell me about it.
Oh, my God. It's so good. It's, first of all, like, just right now, get your phone out and Google Capybara Experience and see that, like, anywhere else in the world, that's going to cost you from, like, $100 to $500 to play with some capybaras, like, in person. Gatorland, ticket price not included, $12 to go pet some capybaras and take pictures and like feed them hay and stuff.
Oh my God, I'd pay double. I'd pay double for that.
Dude, my wife, like that's all she wanted to do. We got there, and you know how you kind of walk around and then you can see the capybaras and the flamingos from like across the pond?
Yeah.
She saw them and she's like, "What is that? I want that right now." So we went and got like tickets for it. You got to wait like an hour. All she wanted to do, I was like, "Let's go look at saltwater crocs or something." She's like, No. I just want to stand there and look at the capybaras till we can go pet them. They were so cool.
Now, describe what a capybara is.
It's a rat the size of a dog, but it doesn't have that weird skinless tail.
All right.
And
look at me. Look at me. I have the body.
Is a capybara body?
I have the body of a capybara.
Capybara.
I am little capybara Danny.
And they have like cute little snout faces, and they basically act like big puppies.
Yeah,
They're like rodents,
like dogs,
but they're puppies. It's so cool.
Could you get one as a pet?
Oh yeah,
You can, and that is, my mom is terrified that I'm gonna get a capybara and bring it to her house.
And there's nothing better.
You have to need a license or something?
I don't think
You
so.
do
No,
in Florida. No, you need a
Oh.
permit, and they cost like $1,000 to $3,000. I may have spent significant chunk of last night Googling how hard it is to own a capybara.
I don't think you need a permit. I mean, there's nothing crazier than you go over to somebody's house, right? And then they have a capybara, and it has those long yellow smoker's teeth. Long yellow smoker's teeth.
Like imagine a
Looks
guinea
like
pig.
Billy D. Williams.
Imagine a guinea pig, but blown up like 18 times.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
You know what they look like, right?
Yeah. I just I wanted Ross to describe them, so anybody, because I think people get them confused with other emus and capybaras, and then like all like weird Australian
oxalatos. Remember those things?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even know what those are.
Articles.
Yeah, I hear all
fish
these
lizards.
I hear these
Yeah.
weird names. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
So when I was a kid, like 4th of July, the town I lived in, Springdale, Pennsylvania, they every 4th of July a fair would set up at the fairgrounds, and one of the attractions was a freak show, right?
All right.
And
buddy.
when I was a kid, one time I remember at the freak show, there's a guy like, for a quarter, come see the biggest rat ever caught in New York City.
Oh my God,
like,
it was his penis in a box.
no, it was like 3 capybaras, like in a tiny little cage and all riled up. So
And
they're
his
like,
penis was in the cage.
and he was.
Did they spray paint him like a rat, like a New York rat? Or
Maybe they were like a little bit darker, and then it was like years later in a book I saw like the flat face and everything. It was like, oh, those are capybaras. But I was like talking to another Tom and Dan listener down there about this, and he grew up like 3 towns over in Pennsylvania, and he's like, oh yeah, I think we had that same fair. Did it have the crackhead? And I was like, and that triggered him. I was like, it did. Like right next to the capybaras was another guy. I was like, come and see the amazing freak show crackhead or whatever. I forget what the name of the guy was.
It's a man who smokes crack cocaine.
But they had like a skinny dude in a capybara cage,
and he's
wearing like a straitjacket and going like, ah, like acting all crazy.
I never got to see a legitimate freak show.
I mean,
you're lucky.
You're in the
Really?
right state. No, they still have them, dude. You're in the
No, do they?
Yes,
Florida
they do.
is circus territory, dude.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But I want, I
No.
want him old school.
They got them.
Old school,
I
like
believe they
bearded
do.
lady,
Yes, yes.
like weird oddities.
Gibson 10. We will go there, and I mean, there's less now than there's ever been, but they're still there, I believe.
I wonder if there's still a legitimate geek out there.
I bet so.
Do you know what a geek is, Tom?
Doesn't he eat like rats and
Bite the head off of a chicken.
Oh,
That's your
God.
job
Oh,
as a
yeah,
geek.
yeah.
You sit there and people pay a quarter and you bite the head off of a
I
chicken.
think I could do that.
I mean,
No, you
push
couldn't.
comes to shove.
Well,
You bite the head off a live chicken.
What am I up against? Is it like to save my family's life?
Oh,
Exactly.
okay, well, I
Heartbeat.
could do
Exactly.
that.
Well, that's- well,
No,
all
this
you-
guy does it for not good pay.
But all you have to do is channel that energy, right? Like all I have to do is get up there and be
Get
like,
in that mental state.
yeah, and just like pretend
Yeah.
they have your family captive.
Exactly.
And I'm holding the chicken, it's scratching the hell out of me.
That's not an easy thing to
And
do.
I'm like, pretend they have Maisie, pretend. And I get them.
Now, what about an emu? Could you bite that off of an emu?
No, bigger than me.
They're so big.
They're very big, and I didn't know that they had weird like pink heads or like gray purple heads.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that.
All right, not to totally switch gears, but
Do it. Let's do it.
Daniel told me this weekend that he got in a car accident.
I did.
And,
Switch gears. Was that a pun? Was that? That's good.
I did. This guy's good. This guy's like click and clack over here. I like it.
And
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh man, because I know how much you like your car, and I know
I
how
love my car.
well you take care of
I
it.
maintain it pristine.
You just had Tesla at your house fixing.
What? Nikolai Tesla came to his house?
He did. He's strangely he doesn't bathe that much. Kind of stinks.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
You know, he dated a pigeon.
Yeah, he's kind of.
That's a true fact. You can look that up.
That's
he dated
gross.
a pigeon.
Oh my God.
And so they were fixing a problem because there was a small
Always a
factory
minor
defect.
cosmetic detail.
No, yeah.
It was It was literally a nothing.
A
And
problem.
I know what you're thinking. He had a pigeon that he liked a lot. No, he had a romantic relationship with a pigeon. That's all. I'm done.
We don't have to go into that. We are. We're gonna have to get into that.
And so, tell me about your car accident.
I had nothing to do on Saturday after that.
He had a pigeon in his lap.
Well,
and
I was
things went
doing
wrong.
like vocal rest, right? Because my voice sounds so crappy. By the way, the scoping, they did it, and they're like, well, we don't really see anything bad, so just keep doing what you're doing. So I'm going to, just maintain, I guess. I'm just getting old. But I had nothing to do after the big parade that Maisie was in. She was in the Winter Park Christmas parade.
Okay.
Which we went down to. She was like out of 100 floats, she was like number 90. I'm like, oh God, so we had to sit through the whole thing. But, I will tell you, our buddy Adam Demeter does, he volunteers and runs the whole parade. They did a really good job. He has a very tough job. In fact, I think we're going to try and set him up to do a weird job, because his job is the weirdest, because he has to walk the parade route and just make sure all children don't get run over by police vehicles. And it is the hardest job you could ever do.
And they don't throw out candy
they
for
do.
that. Oh, they still do.
Oh,
Okay.
it's back. It's back, baby.
Because I remember for a while, they were like banning throwing candy.
No. Our incoming president says we're back. We are candy crazy.
Because the danger of kids like running out to try to get a Tootsie Roll and getting their hands run over.
Either of you seen the Seminole County or Orange County SWAT vehicle, the gray vehicle?
I have not.
They were throwing Squishmallows and candy out of it, and the tires are like, I don't know, 1.5 feet taller than I am.
Okay.
And children were running towards the SWAT vehicle. Like, it was crazy.
Were they Squishmallows seized from drug dealers?
No, they were. They were.
Awesome.
They were Squishmallows seized. No, but it was awesome. It was a great parade. Like, it is a big time. They had all kinds of stuff.
What road did they do it on?
Right on Park Ave.
Okay, all right.
Right
cool.
on Winter Park. Right on Park Ave. It was really good. Like, I enjoyed doing that and being there. Kind of like I was trying to be like a little more open to it, and I was like, oh, this is Christmas. It felt very Christmassy.
Were all the cops out there super festive and like
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Dressed like the Grinch.
No, they do the motorcycle thing where they go.
I love that.
Yeah, I do
love that
too,
so
and I'm a
much.
sucker for it. And then they do some firefighters. And I'm a sucker for the SWAT vehicles, even though I don't want to see any Winter Park children get their heads smushed.
I even like the Rotary Club and those little go-karts.
And the entitled moms that would stand in the middle of Park Avenue, like with their children, even though people were telling them to get back. She's like, no, I'm staying right here. I'm like, oh my God.
Castleberry Santa was out a couple, I think last week.
Oh, did he make his rounds? All right.
We saw him, and then all the Castleberry police were out, and they're I saw one of a young guy. He was like skipping to the jolliness of
don't do that
of the holidays.
Skip in your mind.
And I'm like, I like my cops old and racist.
Mad.
I don't like them jolly and skipping. Anyway.
Well, I had nothing to do after that.
But
right?
I just want to point out the dichotomy of the show. Dan at the Winter Park 100 parade, and then Tom and Castleberry, some old man on a trailer. The cops just driving him around town. That's what it is. That's Tom and Dan in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, it's funny. So I had nothing to do, and when I have nothing to do, I do enjoy driving my car or even letting it drive me around. So I was like, I'll just go get my car washed because there's a bunch of bird crap all over my car. So I'll just run it up the street to the car wash. So I get in the car, I head up there, I go through the car wash. I drive to the Sanford location just because I needed a location to go to, right? So I'm like, I'll run up there and then I'll run back. So I get out of the car wash. Anybody that knows that car wash, it's on Reinhardt. And I come out of it. I get in the center lane of the median to get into the, that left-hand lane and ride it out. I see somebody coming and they're going sort of slow. So I let them pass. And as they go by, then I go. And as I'm going, I proceed to not see and drive my car directly into the side and wheels of an unhitched 18-wheeler.
All right. So just the actual truck itself, not the trailer?
There was no trailer.
Okay.
So it was just the truck. There was a younger black guy driving it. He gets out. And I'm like, oh, man. I was like, you were coming over. It appeared to me, and even in the video footage from my car, it was probably my greatest fear in driving. It was like he was coming into that lane while I was coming into that lane at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting on the side there, on the road. And I'm like, well, we better pull over here to a parking lot. So we pull over to the little furniture store. And there's a trampoline park there. And the guy's he's being really nice, but he's a new guy. I think it was probably his 4th or 5th day driving the truck. Oh. He was just trying to go get something to eat. And again, I was just driving home. So we pull into the little parking lot there. Well, while we're there, we start exchanging stuff. And he's like, I don't know what to do here. And I was like, well, let's do driver's licenses. We can do photos. We can do photos of insurance cards. And, and I think we're good there.
Now, did his truck have damage? I imagine he didn't.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, in my car.
Just bounced right off of it.
Well, in my car being made of paper, the side, door, like the passenger side corner of like where the light is, it's all scrunched and then the alignment's out. Like it's flipping codes all the time. Like it says it's safe to drive, but it says the wheel alignment is all messed up. It won't do full self-driving or any of the stuff that I have. I mean, obviously that's a safety concern, right?
Sure.
You don't want to have a car that's alignment is out and then have it auto driving it around,
Right.
I get it. So I'm sitting there, we're talking to each other, we're exchanging. As we're sitting there riding, I'm doing that move where I'm like riding on my windshield, and he's like taking photos of everything and walking back and forth to his truck. And a community service officer pulls up. And she's like, you guys good here? And we're like, yeah, had an accident out here on Reinhardt. She gets out. She starts talking to us and everything. She's like, do you want an accident report? And I'm like, sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll take an accident report.
Yeah, if we don't have to wait like an hour and a half for the state patrol, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's like, would you have all? Yeah. So I already had all my stuff because I figured, at some point he was going to need it. I had everything on me. So I hand everything to her, and then the guy goes and gets all of his stuff and hands it to her. And man, it took the longest time. I mean, no kidding, like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
For this lady to write the tickets.
Yeah.
Or to write
The report.
It's called I guess a driver's information release or whatever. So he has
An
a copy of me.
report,
Yeah,
right?
an incident
Yeah,
report. Like
yeah.
I have a copy of him. He has a copy of me. Because like at first when she pulled up, she's like, do you want an accident report? And I'm like, I think we're good. We're just exchanging our stuff here. And she's like, well, I'm here. Do you want to do it?
If he doesn't have damage, then it's only you, and then you only need it if it's his fault to get paid.
Yeah, now you're on to something.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, we're talking everything. She asked me, she's like, can I see the video? And I'm like, sure. So, I'm not going to deny her to do that. I mean, I did think about it. So we play it, and, it appears that he beat me there, and I did hit him, So, I mean, so she goes and starts filling everything out, and then I start thinking to myself, I'm like, well, hold on a second. She's filling out an incident report about both of us and, like, getting all of our information to each other. But I basically just had her come over to my car and showed her that I had an infraction, which is exactly what the F happened. When she came out, she gave that guy everything, walked over to me, gave me all my stuff, and was like, and it's customary here in Sanford when we see an infraction to give you a citation. So now you have a reckless driving citation with 3 points and $200.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know a community service officer could even give a ticket. I didn't know that. I thought they could only write reports or whatever. But
she gave me a ticket. Like I'm 48. I have never had a moving violation. Like I've never hit somebody and been charged. I've never had a moving violation or
yeah.
No, I've never had that.
Yeah.
That's
Reckless driving ticket.
I have never had a reckless driving ticket ever in my life.
Other than my 2 DUIs, no tickets.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hug you. You're a hero.
I've had a lot of tickets. Lots. To the point where I cannot take my whatever the school to get the points off anymore for life.
And here's the other thing.
Life.
Here's the other thing that I kind of let bother me, but as I got the ticket, I started like adding things up in my brain. One of the things that she kept doing the whole time she was talking to me, and only me, she did not do this to the black guy that like when we hit each other, I hit him. I'll just say it. I hit him, right? She kept calling me big guy.
All right.
She'd be like, hold tight there, big guy. All right, come on over here, big guy. All right, here's what we're going to do, big guy. And then when she gave me my ticket and everything, I'm like, she's like, here you are, big guy. And I'm like, oh my God, really? I was like, so.
How about a sir?
Was there a play here where if she had pulled up and said, do you want an accident report? And I'm like, no, we're good. And she drives away, I don't get a ticket.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm the dumbest person in the world.
You didn't call Mo, so that was your first mistake.
Well, yeah.
Well,
that is true.
Yeah, it was your fault, so you couldn't.
Right.
In retrospect, yeah, you shouldn't have showed her the video, I guess.
No, I should not have.
Yeah.
But when asked, I mean, she knows what I'm driving. It's not like, it's a real awkward conversation if she's like, can I see the video? And I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, you're not obligated to show it.
Right.
Yeah. You could say no,
but
I don't know how.
But I don't know.
I
I don't think I could say no. You know what I mean? Like
you should have said no, little lady.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's really no. I don't have that. I don't have that kind of balls. I don't have that kind of nuts. I might have some, but not as much as you. Because on the spectrum, I'll be closer to the center.
Because technically, that guy's not filing a claim because there's no damage on his truck. So you'll file a claim, but you'll do it with your own insurance. So essentially, now you got a ticket for no reason.
Right. I just incriminated myself. I'm here, watch this video and give me a ticket. Great job, Dan.
I still would get Mo on it because the situation you're describing, it sounds like a 50-50 to me. Like if he's coming over when you're coming in, that feels like a little bit of both sides to me.
What bothered me about it, and she never even asked about this, but I did mention it to her, but I wasn't going to sit there and argue, right? Like I wanted to just, the car's screwed up. I'm going to handle it and move on, right? It's just a thing. Like Tom said, could have been worse. I mean, I could have gotten killed. Sure. Who knows? But when that guy, he was going to get something to eat, and he was driving really fast. Like he was coming across from the far right lane all the way over to the far left lane
to get
to try and get to Walmart, right? So I was just easing into the lane. Mm-hmm. He was cutting across all traffic and moving fast, and that's what I kind of said to her. And then dude started thinking that I was kind of going on the offensive.
Yeah.
So he started getting up on me, I got cameras too, man. And I'm like, yo, I mean, just everyone relax.
This M-word's a liar. He's trying to say it's my fault.
That is the vibe he got. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The minute I started trying to explain myself at all, he got defensive, and they both. And I also don't think that lady. She didn't seem to like me very much. I don't know why, but the vibe was not. The vibe was a lot more friendly with the other guy.
I was about to say,
not with me,
because and this in small towns, I've seen it a million times. Yeah. Do you think she knew him?
I don't think she knew him, but the rapport between them was nicer than mine.
It could have been just he's got a Sanford address on his license, and you got a downtown Orlando one, and it could be that big of a difference.
It did
sometimes.
seem weird, though. Yeah. But, it is what it is.
If I'm the community service officer, I'm seeing there's a blue-collar trucker, and then I see this young punk with tattoos and a Tesla zipping around town acting like he owns a place.
I like that.
So
who the hell do you think you are?
I'm siding with the blue-collar trucker and not this tattooed M-word that being a passive-aggressive to me.
I was not. Man, if that was the one thing that the only thing I was probably proud of the whole day, I was able to make it through the interaction with the guy and the pseudo-cop, and there was zero jokes, and there were zero, it was as straight, I played it as straight as I can. There was no, and even when I stood there and she gave me the ticket and I'm talking to her and she was explaining the 3 ways I can get out of it. I guess I can take traffic school.
Yeah,
so I might need
to get the points.
I might need your mom to.
Yeah,
she's still doing it.
Yeah.
She still do that.
She'll do it. $100.
Does she do bird-based traffic school?
She'll take any traffic school.
And she's good at it. Dude.
Yeah, for $100.
Marilyn Van's the best in the business. Man.
Oh, okay.
She is known, and I'm gonna get her on my case.
By the way,
and you know what? It's a holiday season. I'll give her $200.
You can commit murder, go to prison, get out of prison, and then somehow through lots of paperwork, get your right to vote back. But I could never get for life, I could never take the school again.
He's done.
Me and Crystal.
It was 6, right? Or 5?
It was 5
I think
lifetime.
It's 5 in a lifetime.
And we went through both of them, and they said no more for life. To the end of my life, I could never take traffic school again. And that's it. People can get firearms back, over enough time. Our justice system has made rules that will allow that people to get their rights back. Yeah. Not me for traffic school.
No, you're
never
not.
again
Never
for
again.
life.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that. It happened a while ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So if you chuck up, how many points do you have left on your license now? Do you know? If you hit the max, what happens? You just can't drive ever again for your life?
Well, the points will go away. They disappear after a while. But now I can never get them off again.
You just can't get them knocked off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
His driving record now is fine. It's just
If I get any more points, I can never take the school to get them off.
Yeah, it's called scared straight.
So wait a minute.
No matter how much time, 20 years, we should change that law. After 20 years, I should be able to get 1 or 2 more classes.
How many points can you? Okay, so
it's 3 points. You take the school, it takes 3 points.
So right now you're good.
I don't have any points.
So how many points do you have to accrue to lose your license?
I think it's 10. something like
we
that.
need to get you sitting on 9, buddy.
Yeah.
We need to get you as close as humanly possible.
Living on the edge.
Yeah, man.
So when are you gonna get your car fixed? Because I thought about this. I was like, this is gonna drive you crazy.
I've already given it to God.
And then they're never gonna be able to fix it back perfect, and
No.
you're gonna have to buy a new car.
I have to buy a new car.
I know.
I already talked to Andrew about that. I got to buy a new car. It's ruined. It's like literally ruined.
And if you saw a picture of it, it is not ruined.
I'll show him. I'll send it to Ross so he can see it.
It's basically some tire smudges and some cracks.
It's a lot worse than the other one where I just backed into something. I mean, like here's what we need to talk about. Here's the issue that you're missing.
Yeah.
I'm so old that I have no business driving anymore. If that car, and the first thing my wife said to me, and the first thing my business partner said to me, were exactly the same thing. His was via text, hers was via phone call. Andrea and Tom's first thing they said to me when they found out that I hit somebody was, "You were driving, weren't you? It wasn't the full self-driving." And you know what? It was me. And had it been full self-driving, it wouldn't have happened. Is that what you wanted to hear? Yeah. Is that what you want?
Well, I knew the truth already. As soon as you got an accident, I was like, well, that wasn't the car because that thing is good.
It wouldn't have done it. Like, what? As much as I use full self-driving, Ross, I promise you, had I been using it, it would not have done that. It wouldn't. And it angers me. It makes me very angry because all I had to do is just hit the button.
Do you think, and this is something I've noticed in myself that I try to fight, and other friends with really sensor-laden cars, do you not head check as much as you would in like an 83 Buick or something?
I do a lot of head checks. I still use my mirrors. I don't even really use it's got cameras all over it.
Right.
I still use mirrors and everything. This was this was just Saturday
This
driving.
guy came out of nowhere. He blindsided you. You got to get
right
Mo
here.
on this. I think Mo is going to find some fault in here. And I don't, by the way, public service officer in Sanford. No, you don't get to make the call on what Dan is going to be charging. No. That's
3 points for old race car Danny.
Mo's going to have that gone before lunch.
Do you think that you've actually gotten worse at driving because of self-driving?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
It does make sense that
Yes.
you've been using self-driving so long that you're not that good of a
I'm
driver.
not. It's atrophied.
Yeah, it's like Daisy if she started to drive again. She's like,
I don't know how to drive. Like I'm more dangerous than I've ever been because even my driving legs have atrophied. Like I don't even know if I have the strength to push the pedal down anymore.
So
you know what I mean? Like I don't push pedals, Ross. I don't drive. I sit in the car and I hit a button and it drives me places.
Can you sue Tesla for making you a bad driver now because they've
made me dependent on it? It's like a drug. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
It's no different than a drug.
Okay.
I'm a drug addict.
Yeah.
Well, I am a drug addict.
They enabled you to get allow to use self-driving for so long you got bad at driving.
Yeah, I did.
And then you crashed into a truck.
I almost killed a man. I almost killed a man in an 18-wheeler. You're right. In fact,
he would have killed you actually.
Oh, he almost rolled right over me. He totally would have rolled right over me.
You should sue Tesla. Get that pigeon.
So are you not going to ever drive again?
Huh? I am. So my plan.
You can't be trusted.
My plan right now is I have to call the insurance company. And I did it online, so I guess that part's done. So now I got to get the estimate, and then once it is fixed to the best that they can, I will never drive again.
And then you're gonna get that new Tesla.
No,
that big boy.
No, there's no way the wife will not do that. She's very angry with me right now, and
but then every time you walk by, you're gonna be like, that's not perfect.
I think they'll fix it. I have good. We did find a nice place that is Tesla certified that is better than Tesla's body shop.
Interesting.
And here in town that they have really good ratings. So it's shout out to the place in Maitland. It's like there's like a Maitland Collision that supposedly they specialize in Tesla. So from what I understand from other Tesla owners, they like those guys. So I'm gonna give it a shot. But it is my fault. I screwed it all up.
Are they gonna fix it to your specifications?
They might actually fix it better because Teslas aren't like the fit and the finish of the exterior of Teslas isn't great to begin with. So they might actually tighten it up better than it was the first time. But yeah, I'm trying to keep
Put
a
an extra
positive.
stitch in
This
it.
is new for me, man. Like I'm trying to keep a positive attitude on this.
Yeah. I don't like that. I like your negative attitude of like, they'll never fix it the way it's going to be. I need a new car immediately. That's the old Daniel I know.
That is how I feel. I mean, like, I do hate it now. I want to drive it into a lake.
You do it. It sets on fire. You need to figure out a way to destroy it.
I want
that
to.
way you can get a new car into the lake.
I wanted to do it with, it's kind of like my dog. You know, like he got like Dansby, he got some red. He gets the tips of his ears painted when he goes to the groomer.
Okay.
And when he was doing it, apparently he was too jovial, and he got a big swath of like red food coloring on his mustache, and it's permanent, you know. So and then Andrea like cut it out, and it looks horrible because you can see like this chunk of where his face is gone. And I'm like, oh God, you got to throw the dog out now.
Get a new one.
Yeah, we got to get a new one. It's ruined. You ruined him.
When Shadow got bit, they basically like shaved her whole back half. And that looks weird.
So, all right, we got to
Chat room is asking one question, and Robert, that's a good one. A lot of people ask me this, but it's kind of silly. If the car is self-driving and it gets into an accident, is it the car's fault or mine? It is mine.
Yeah. That's
always.
Yeah, that's the driver's fault.
Yeah.
So I thought about that too when you first told me it got in an accident. I was like, oh, if it's self-driving, what? But it's always, whoever's watching,
behind the wheel.
Yeah. Also, trust me, I've used it so much, it would have never done that.
The Orlando Talk Show with Ross McCoy. Woo-hoo! Ross, are you going to be anywhere in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I got a couple of things coming up. What do we got? Bull and Bush, and then I want to tell you guys about a show. Oh yeah, the 20th of December. We're doing this show called Untold Tales. It's like Christmas stories, but like from different perspectives. It's a lot of fun. I think that's going to be at Propagate Brewery, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Hit me up for more information about Untold Tales because I don't have it right now.
All right, perfect.
I like that. That's typical Tom and Dan style. I like that. Yeah, hit him up.
So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Now, before we introduce our next guest, I will give you, I'm going to start doing this, a movie review, but only for the bar inside the movie theater, because last night I went to the Altamont movie theater.
You need to do this on your social media. This could be huge.
And their bar let me get as much booze as I want.
Yes.
Even I ordered a wine for Crystal. And how
many wines?
I got
4 or 5 wines?
I got 3 wines, and then I got 2 Mambo High Noons.
Yeah.
The
big
boys. Bum ones.
Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
The
one canners. The one canners.
The one big bum.
Yeah.
And the lady let me get whatever I want, and then even after 3 wines, she's like, whatever else you want. And I was like, thank you, Altamont. Screw you, Winter Park.
Honestly, it's one of the single greatest ideas you've had. You could set up an account and go and just start locally and go to every movie theater and give the drink count.
Well, because I felt like screaming, well, what's the difference between this insurance and Winter Park? It's something different. It's
the staff cares less. Right?
Well, if it's an insurance thing, Altamonts are able to do it, and it's not, they're not rich.
Chat room checking in. The larger cans that bums drink are called Mambo Bumbos.
I got a big Mambo Bumbo.
That's what they're called.
Of High Noon.
Thank you, Shred Bear. It's the big old Bumbo.
So, on the couch, a brand new character. We've never had him in before. I don't know how this is going to go.
I like
because
now,
I thought we were going to stick to
full transparency with the characters when they appear. We have had many that go on to stardom and greatness. We've had a couple that have been shelved. That is the beauty.
Whoa.
That is the beauty.
Well, really, only Ram has made multiple appearances.
Saul Volcano.
That was one and done. And
then Skippy the intern shelved.
We've never even played that one.
Hey, what's up, Dan? Did you call me?
No one even knows what we're talking about because we haven't played it yet.
Oh my God, it's Skippy, Tom's intern.
I was just in the back shredding a bunch of documents for Tom. Tax season's coming up,
Skippy, we agreed that this wasn't going to work. Let's go back to where Cheery.
I thought my segment went great. All right,
you're lying, Skippy. You told me after. You're like, I don't know.
You told me in confidence, Skippy, to never play that.
All right, I'm going to go finish that sandwich you threw away.
All right, bye, Skip.
All right, so we have, because it's the holidays, we have Cheery, the Christmas elf. How you doing, Cheery?
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Oh, my God. Wow.
So this is no attempt at just regular voice, Cheery?
Hold on,
no elf voice?
I like that better.
Okay, all right, Cheery. Okay,
Yeah, I'm Cheery the elf. I'm the happiest elf at the North Pole.
All right, okay, all right, Cheery. So, now let's talk about the holidays and the North Pole and everything.
We'll do that, but real quick, you guys had some idiot on the couch before. He said the Untold Holiday Tales was a propaganda. No, he's this is 12 Talons Brewery, Friday, December 20th. Doors open at 7:30. $5 suggested donation, and it is like you'll hear from untold Christmas characters. For example, Cheery the elf roasting Christmas.
All right,
I love that. I love that. So we get a little Cheery here before you can go out and see him live.
What do you want to know about the North Pole?
Okay, so Cheery,
how many bathrooms?
Just the one.
Just the one?
You know, that's a great,
Well, elves don't poop, right? You guys know that?
I did not know that.
It's pee only, and we're only allowed to pee on the pole. Right at the top of the North Pole, we pee right there.
Oh, okay. All right. So just you go to the North Pole, and then
and
then like a fire hydrant?
That's actually where the ice cap comes from. We slowly add to it.
It's all elf urine?
Not all of it. But
they're very hydrated. They drink a lot of water.
Now, Cheery, I have a hard time explaining
doing these bits. Yeah, I know you do.
There's a lot of traditional wood toys that the elves have always carved, like the rocking horse and the little dollies.
Those are decorative toys.
And all this stuff. But then it seems like in 2024, kids all have electronics and screens and stuff.
It's hard to explain that away.
So are you guys? You're making all the electronics? It seems like way different.
Are you outsourcing
of a craft?
How are you doing that?
First of all, you are aware we work 30-hour days, 400 days a year. You are aware of that, right?
30-hour days. There's only 24 hours in a day.
400 days a year, Tom. I don't. You obviously didn't take a science class or whatever. I don't. What's the furthest? You're from Miami. What's the furthest north you've ever been?
Okay,
like Alaska or something stupid like that.
Alaska was
Alaska.
Basically, to me, that's the equator. From the perspective of North Pole, that's pretty much the equator. You haven't even touched the north at all. Time dilates the closer you get to the North Pole. It is slower up there.
I just saw Interstellar last night.
I was just going to tie it together.
At the Altamont Bowl, where the bar is better.
So Cheery the elf is teaching us that Santa uses a time paradox.
So how do you think he gets to everybody's house in one night? He whips around the North Pole, time dilation. Yeah.
That actually makes a lot more sense than thinking you can do it all in one night.
And so to answer your question, 30 hours a day, 400 days a year, we are basically faking gift cards at this point. That is, we're making V-Buck gift cards, we're making Chili's gift cards. It's all gift cards.
Yeah. Well, that seems pretty easy comparatively
to
carving.
Is that right?
I invite you to come up to the North Pole and spend 30 hours one day making gift cards.
Okay. Well, it's just a plastic.
You're talking to a man that can't fold a crunch wrap.
No, yes, I could.
It's just plastic. It's just plastic, Tom. Maybe you don't know how we do it. We carve each individual gift card out of one walrus.
Okay. So you're carving the gift cards?
Yeah, out of a walrus, Tom. You have any idea how hard that is?
The
handmade gift card.
30 hours a day. 400 days a year.
What's your number one gift card?
Chili's. Yeah, people love Chili's. It's from Estonia to America. Chili's.
It's this one vibe that everybody kind of is on board. Yeah.
Now, how many actual elves are there? Because it seems to be varying. Like,
are there boys and girls?
Stories about how many elves. In like some books, it seems like, like 2 football teams full of elves, and then but to make all those toys, you would think you would need an army, a 7-nation army,
thousands.
Well, we do listen to the White Stripes quite a bit up there.
The red and white stripes.
You're a black hat, or
Tom, Santa, when he started a million years ago with the toy thing, there were 1,000 elves to start.
All right.
We're down to 50.
No, they're down to 50.
My God.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of employees here,
It used to be a 12-hour workday, 400 days a year, and now that's why we're up to 30 hours a day, 400 days a year.
Because you're down men.
Yeah.
Is it similar to just the world population? Like the elf population is declining?
Well, I think I told you earlier we can't poop, Tom. We also can't procreate in any way. We're just elves. We turn candy into energy, into toys. That's all we can do.
How were you born?
It's a very labor-intensive process. I believe what happened was that Santa created us out of
His
walruses.
Ribs. His ribs.
Oh, back to walruses. All right. Well, maybe there is less walruses in the world,
Yes.
so therefore, you know, you have
It's
a
a
hard
direct
time.
correlation between less walruses, more elves.
You go back in time, there were more walruses, elves. Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean,
It all makes sense.
you couldn't use an elephant similar to
No.
walruses. Like
I
it's
don't think you
basically
can.
a land walrus.
It is.
I mean, they're both kind of
Too big, I think. Walruses are a little smaller, a little more easy to maneuver.
But they both have tusks. They're gray, kind of blobby.
I feel like
why don't I just go traipse down to the equator and grab an elephant? Tom, have you ever been to the North Pole? There's two things up there. There's polar bears and there's walruses, all right? Try to make a gift card out of a polar bear. Give it a shot one time. You can't do it.
too hairy.
So, Cheery, what else we got?
I got some Christmas roasts for you guys here.
I love it. He's got jokes.
Not jokes, roasts of Christmas.
Okay.
Some of these, I don't even know if I can say on your broadcast media.
I'll give it a shot. Give it a
leave it
shot.
up to you
It's
guys.
fine. We're fine.
Candy canes are here, you guys. Give it up for candy canes. Candy canes.
All right.
Yeah. We need more food that turns into a shank as you eat it. That's candy canes. Kwanzaa's here, you guys. Give it up for
Give it up for
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
I got a good
Yay.
Kwanzaa joke.
Uh-oh. Incoming.
No, there's no joke. I like Kwanzaa. I think black people should have a piece of culture that white people don't want to appropriate at all. I like Kwanzaa.
You know, I still see people doing it, though. I got to tell you.
The Kwanzaa?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Every once in a while for Kwanzaa, you'll see the one guy who's wearing like something, and I'm like, I don't think you should be wearing that.
I've never seen any person ever actually celebrate Kwanzaa. Now, I don't know any black people, so I will preface
back
that.
to you,
I only
Cheery.
know whites,
Yeah.
so maybe that's the reason.
You're not going to
but
see it then.
I just have never seen Kwanzaa. I've never seen it on social media. I never searched for it, I guess. But what
It's
is
in your algorithm now.
like if you, a Kwanzaa Christmas, is it similar to the presents? Is there Santa involved at all?
I think it's different than that. I don't think it involves Santa. I think it.
Is it a
Do you want me to go get Cheery the Kwanzaa elf to answer these questions for you, Tom? Would you rather that?
Sorry.
he's
Hey,
got
gingerbread is
other-
here. Gingerbread is here, you guys.
Okay,
It's here for
sorry.
gingerbread. Gingerbread. It's the wrong color and it tastes funny, just like ginger people.
That's a good one. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Frosty the Snowman is here, you guys. Give it for Frosty.
okay.
Frosty taught a lot of kids about death. Mainly the fact that as long as you have a magic hat, it can be avoided.
That's true.
You know what about Frosty?
Yeah, I have beef with Frosty as well.
So I've built a fair amount of snowmen in my day.
Really?
With we go
Colorado.
We go
Yeah,
out
yeah,
to
yeah.
So every March. It's in March when we do it. But
I've maybe built one.
we'll build the quintessential snowman, and then we'll put a hat. We never there's no pipes ever laying around, so that with the
that's too
eyes.
bad.
Everything. But
Why don't you put your one hitter in his mouth?
what made Frosty magical was his scarf. And then no one ever puts a scarf on a snowman.
There
it's always
must have been some magic in that old top hat they found. Scarf doesn't come up
I
in the
thought it was the
song.
old
No.
scarf
Yeah.
that they.
No,
you don't
it's
know.
a top hat.
Jack about Christmas, it turns out.
The scarf is literally just an accessory.
I thought.
There must have been some magic in that carrot we stuck in his face. What an
Yeah.
idiot. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. I can't even believe
Cheery,
it.
Old
thank you.
silk scarf we found.
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
silk
no.
scarf?
Now
is
you're
top hat?
inventing. Now you're
Wow.
inventing.
I
Yeah.
thought it was silk scarf.
This guy's rewriting history
Wow,
now.
Christmas gaslighting. I'm glad I was
That's
here.
huge.
Hey, the
Unbelievable.
Grinch is here, everybody. Give it up for the Grinch.
Okay.
Grinch is. Oh, actually, no. The Grinch couldn't make it. The Grinch couldn't make it. He actually he had a problem with his heart grew 3 sizes last night. Same thing happened to Dan one time. It wasn't Christmas cheer though. It was drugs.
The Grinch. My favorite Grinch
Is porno Grinch. Thank you. Moving on. Everyone loves porno Grinch. Everybody loves getting a little green makeup on the old,
He's a pedophile because it's a porno Grinch is a pedophile.
Sir, the
Porno-
Grinch is a good friend of
No,
mine. What are you
porno-
talking
There's
about?
Little Susie.
Yeah,
What is her name?
it's
Cindy Lou.
It's Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, Cindy Lou Who, the Grinch
Yeah.
gets her.
Yeah.
And I saw it on the videos. It's on. You
And
will
don't they
look it
name
up.
him something like the Grouch?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it's Cindy Lou Goo or something like that.
I don't know, but Cindy Lou's there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think this is a underage teen.
Yeah, and it's not his heart growing. It's like something else, and it's like 8 sizes.
I shouldn't have said that.
It's 8 sizes too big.
Grinch is a personal friend of mine. I take that very
he's
seriously.
Shouldn't have said that. Sorry.
What do we got here? Oh, yeah, this is the one clip you might have to cut out.
Okay, that's
Oh,
fine.
that's
Yeah,
fine,
we'll
yeah.
cut it all out.
yeah. They can't even say the Cindy Lou thing.
Mistletoe is here, you guys.
All right.
Or I call it flower. I think
you could say that.
I think more plants should revoke consent. Like, is that a petunia? Right up the...
Has anybody ever kissed someone under the
Yeah.
mistletoe? You've done it?
My mom and dad used to.
Okay.
Like my dad, my dad was a really, really charming dude. Like my dad had so much game. My dad was a great dancer. He was romantic. He would I'm not I'm not even close, right? I mean, I am similar to him, but I didn't get the romance parts. But yeah, Dad would absolutely, if he saw it, he'd be like, oh, look what we're standing under, Carol. Why don't you come over here and give me a smooth? He absolutely.
I don't see too much mistletoe put out as decoration.
It's bad for trees, right?
Not, or
All my tree friends were like, "Oh, you got mistletoe in your tree. It's killing your tree. Gotta get it out of there."
Well, I'm saying even as a Christmas decoration, and it doesn't seem like that popular of a thing
Mistletoe is
anymore.
out. Holly is in. I feel like. Also,
Sorry,
mistletoe
Cheery.
is poisonous, isn't it?
If you catch somebody underneath some holly, you can slap their ass. Speaking of which, I saw Mommy. We're into songs now. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus this year. Boy, nothing makes that Tonka truck play better than the knowledge that your father got cucked by a fat guy in a red velvet suit for it.
Yeah, I like that.
The awkward part is when the husband
Yeah.
is in the corner and he is filming, but in
He's
the
very
shot
excited, too,
is
yeah.
himself.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
It's like, hey, I'm going to show you what I'm doing
Yeah.
to this
Look
with my wife.
Look how weak I am.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like when she makes him hold her hand. Baby
Look at you zoom in on the wedding ring. It's like, that doesn't mean anything to the viewer. That's your
Yeah, that's for me to watch
bond.
later. Yeah, that's for me to cry in my car and watch later.
Yeah, your wedding ring. I'm
Yeah.
not interested in that.
I'll be
I don't-
watching that outside my daughter's school one day.
Baby, it's
sorry.
cold outside this year. Oh, it's the mistletoe of Christmas songs.
Yeah, 100%. But you know what? Like, I feel like 2 years ago that song got everybody's like, oh my God. And then I feel like last year we were kind of like, it was written at the time where you just leave it alone. Like, it felt like last year we got over that.
12 Days of Christmas is here. 12 Days of Christmas is here. Tom, you ever tell a person that you kind of like birds? The wrong person? And then for Christmas, you get, according to Google, 184 birds? 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah.
Maisie asked about that song. She's like, what is a partridge?
Oh,
And I was like, it's a bird. And she's like, I don't want that.
yeah. A turtle dove.
Nobody
none
wants
of
that.
it.
Nobody, that's an Cheery.
Yeah.
That is an excellent point.
I got good news, Maisie. You're getting all gift cards made out of walrus.
Hey, she's down with a gift card, man.
I know someone with a lot of birds. Looks like a nightmare. It looks like a jail sentence. I am not joking. They're screaming.
Didn't she get a new one? She got a new
Well,
one,
yeah,
right?
but that has no feathers. It is
But she's
looking.
doing the stuff that other people won't do, and that's like, God bless you.
Little Drummer Boy's here.
Yes.
Little Drummer Boy famously couldn't afford a present for Jesus, so he went and drummed for him in the manger, which made Mary say in the Bible, "Get that kid out of the barn where I just gave birth." Amen.
It's an excellent point. I because I am small and a drummer, I for almost every Christmas pageant was asked to pretend to be some sort of small drumming boy at the manger, and I too, Cheery, have questioned whether or not a snare drum would be something that a new mom and baby would want, or.
A new mom who just gave birth to next to a sheep.
Yeah, maybe I've taken it a little further, Cheery, and thought about like the rim shot from a snare drum would be so loud that it would send an ass or an ox into just a vile snorting and kicking fit, kicking the manger over. You know what I mean? Like it would anger all of the animals in the barn.
I like Mary, like she's screaming, like there's no modern day pain medicine. You gave me some sort of figs. That's all we have.
Yes.
And then you got some drummer boy playing rolls on a snare drum loud.
yeah, he's cranking it out there.
Hey, speaking of the manger, the three wise men are here. Those guys, or as I call them, the three wise snitches. Hey, good job, you guys, getting every child under 2 killed in King Herod's kingdom.
Yeah, that was. I like a good biblical reference joke, man. 100%.
Little Bible for you guys on Christmas.
Was that when you would go and you'd paint on your? No,
that
Passover.
Was
I'm thinking
Moses
Passover.
and the seven plagues of Egypt. Yep.
So much murder in that book.
A lot.
Oh my
There's
God.
a good bit of murder.
By the way,
a lot about.
My favorite part, there's a prophet walking through town and a bunch of kids are chucking rocks at him. So he says, God, please send bears to kill all these people. And God does.
Yo, that guy's got the hookup.
Awesome.
In my nativity scene, I prefer my wise men ride a traditional American horse.
Cowboys. Like the three cowboys.
If you could change that,
The three caballeros.
Not a big fan of the camels.
I will say that in the Winter Park Christmas parade, they had a live manger, they had a living nativity, and they had three wise men that were walking behind the float. Two of the three wise men were wearing hokas. It made me laugh. Just two old men in their hokas, just walking down the street.
Eggnog is here.
No.
Eggnog is here because we all know the problem with liquor, that it was famously calorie free. Let's throw it in some cake batter, you guys.
I really hate all. I hate all
No,
thick.
it's only
not.
once a year.
You are saying that to not. You're defending.
Have you had some
Yes.
coquino, some eggnog on Christmas Eve? It's a holiday.
Yeah, and then you're
spirit.
phlegmy until New Year's.
Once
If I
a
drank it
year.
now, I would really lose my voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with like really even the flavors. The flavors of coquito, the flavors of eggnog, not bad. It's when you go to drink it, it's like a puffy drink. It's a thick.
Yeah,
If a 10
milky.
is a solid, it is a 9.5.
Yeah, it's not. It's hard to drink. It's like very. It's sludgy.
But it's because it's just for this time of year only, and you have to get. It's a tradition.
Yeah.
It's the egg liquor,
God.
milk liquor.
Hey, Turducken is here.
Hey, I love a turducken.
Turducken is here. Is the lunatic from the 12 Nights song a chef?
Have you seen the guys online that are taking turducken and making it even bigger?
Oh yeah.
What are they stuffing it into a walrus?
Well, they're sort of, kind of. I mean, you're not. I mean, they'll take like a pig carcass and then put like a goose, and then put like a turkey inside the goose, and then put like a duck inside the turkey, and then just go all the way down until there's like a parakeet inside, and then like it's crazy.
YouTube stunt cooking at this point.
Yeah.
There is a North Pole prophecy that when someone cooks one of every animal inside of each other, the world will come to an end. And finally, Christmas trees are here. You guys get up for Christmas trees.
All right.
Name something else you spend as much time and money on making it beautiful only for it to die. And no fair if you are Casey Anthony listening.
Whoa, wait, Cheery.
Too far.
Yeah, Cheery.
Oh, if that's too far, you're not going to like this one. How is a Christmas tree like Heath Ledger? They both die in your living room and leave needles everywhere.
Oh, come on.
That's like a
Come on,
street
Cheery.
joke. I like that. that was evil.
I'm the happiest elf at the North Pole. What can I tell you?
All right.
Thank
Give
you,
it up
Cheery.
for Cheery.
I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
Well done.
So I did buy a Christmas tree.
I was wondering when you were going to get your Christmas tree because I have two, but I don't. You make
got
fun
the
of me.
fake ones.
Yeah, I do fake.
Yeah.
Christmas trees.
I still do the
Santa
real.
hates that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like the filth of a real tree. They're
yeah.
filthy. They're disgustingly filthy.
Also, have you
Where'd
priced
you
them
go?
recently?
Oh, they're expensive.
Oh yeah, $85.
Holy
smokes!
smokes.
For it's regular. Not like I'm putting it into a 2-story mansion. It's a regular 6-footer.
Yeah.
Standard fern, whatever the hell.
Fraser fir.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a walrus, I can make that into a Christmas tree for you.
And then with $5 tip. Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you tipped. That's good.
Okay, I don't.
You're learning.
I don't want the net. No, at the Christmas tree farm, we go to the Christmas tree farm.
Well, let me ask you a few questions. Why don't you want the net?
Because I don't.
Everybody gets the net.
I don't need it because I'm just going. I'm throwing it in the back of my truck. I'm going like
It's so
a mile
you know
down
what
the
it's
road.
for. It's not for going down the. It's so when you get to your house, when you take it inside, you don't rip all the branches
Scraping the
off.
doors.
No, but you bring it in trunk first, so you don't stuff it.
Just get the net
You
and
understand-
do it right.
You understand, with the net, you don't have to do what the whole big system
Thank you,
you're
Cheery.
describing.
Yeah, thank you, Cheery.
Yeah.
We have a Christmas expert from the North Pole.
Yeah, but I don't need the net. That's the thing.
Fine.
Like
we're not going to win this one, Cheery.
And
Yeah,
so
Santa doesn't need the sleigh. It would just take a lot longer without it.
and I understand they chop the bottom of the trunk off a fresh cut. They give it a fresh cut, which
and then they put the net on it so it goes in easy.
which
But you didn't want the net and you didn't want the cut.
Well, I could do the cut. I got a electric chainsaw in my house.
Why not just you're paying $85. Let them give you everything they have.
Well, but then
Or just grow your own tree. It sounds like that's what you want to do.
It does sound like that.
Which I looked up, and you can.
He does want to.
Boy, does Cheery know Christmas or what?
You nailed it.
I was having this
Almost
conversation.
like you know your friend Tom Van.
With Crystal. She's like, you think you could propagate these Christmas trees? I'm like, no way. Like, there would be things on social media every year about propagating a Christmas tree, and apparently you can cut a branch off and it'll grow in water just like any other like propagated plant.
Did you say Crystal?
Yeah.
We got a missing girl elf named Crystal.
No.
She probably wants back.
Oh, yeah.
She's begging to get back in rotation.
This one, she's not an elf. She can't work 40 hours a day. You got 5 good hours, maybe. She'll bitch about it.
She'll work at the gift shop.
Anyway, so
you did want the net and you did want the cut, but you're paying $85.
Yeah, and then I felt obligated to tip anyway, and they just picked up the tree and put it in the back of my truck. I was like, this ain't worth $5.
Well, you shouldn't have tipped. Because I was happy that you tipped.
But they're expecting it. So then I screwed up. I was like, can I just pick up my own? I'll just pick it up and then put it in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody. Anyway.
Yeah, why not like you should have bought a pine cone and waited.
Why not just do the normal? Why not just, like, hey, there's our tree, put it in the net, cut the thing. All right, 85, here we go.
And how much are each of these guys? Because I realized they set up an RV and they sleep in it for like a month and a half.
I kind of want this job.
They're from up in Georgia or something.
North Carolina, usually.
North Carolina. Mm-hmm. They come down. They have the semi truck. I see their setup. They come down, set up a tent. It's like 3 guys, right? How much are they splitting? Are they splitting like 15 grand total?
More than that, I bet.
You think more than that? But after expenses, the gas, live there for a month.
If it's like most other tent sales, there's probably one guy making most of the money at the top and just paying a pittance to all the others.
Okay,
yeah. You got to check teeth a lot of times. It's like the guys with the most teeth are making the most amount of money. Yeah. And it kind of goes down from there.
So
some of those guys are actually just working for the bottom of the tree stump, so you really boned one guy.
Yeah.
And are they?
You boned that guy. And he wanted that tree stump, and he didn't get it. Because you cut, we got to cut her. He's got to cut it in his house.
Well, and they're getting those trees for $5 a piece?
I don't know.
I know we've done this before on a Weird Job Wednesday.
No, but
we used to do.
It's different now because Curtis is, I'm sure he could like leave us an email or call in and leave us a voicemail and kind of break it down for us. But I want to say that $20K sounds about right to me when we talked to him.
But is that profit or total revenue?
I think it was profit when everything was said and done, and that you had multiple people splitting that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it wasn't a lot. It's not a.
So maybe the head guy is walking away with 10 grand for the year or something. It's not an astronomical amount. It can't be, right? Because there's not enough trees.
Isn't there a shortage right now? Like, aren't we going through a Christmas tree shortage? I believe.
And then try to buy one on Christmas Eve. That tree will cost you like $500,000.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's cool that you get a real one. I always thought I'd get a real one and like put it out on my balcony, but. They just I'm far too lazy to get a real tree.
I have terrible news. If you don't have a real tree, Santa's not coming. That Chili's
gift
card.
I'm gonna have to tell Maisie that. It's gonna break her heart. It's gonna break her heart.
Well, you put up your tree November 1st, so you couldn't get a real tree. It wouldn't live there. They didn't even start selling them.
No. You wouldn't be able to do that. Like we've told Maisie that too.
I just pulled up Christmaspedia on my phone here, Tom, and it says you have 85 trees in your house. Not one of them is real.
But I will say the fake tree does look better. Because it's got LED lights and it can
it can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, I've got the crazy one that like lights up and like you can write your name in it.
Yeah, well, guess what? George Clooney looks better than Santa, but one of them brings you presents and the other one just sits in Hollywood and smokes cigars.
Yeah.
Do you remember when there was like pushback about real trees where they were like, animals living here and stuff, and then like the tree industry was like, wait a minute, we farm these specifically so every year, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like a revolving they basically have different sized trees each year, so every year they cut them and they have baby ones. So it's like
it's a process.
It essentially replenishes itself and it's environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
But ask yourself why you're getting the tree, Tom. Why are you getting the tree in the first place?
Just because
to impress Santa.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is from Cheery to you. The reason we do trees at Christmas, Santa hates trees.
Oh, really?
Where's he live, Tom?
You know what?
You ever
bring
seen
up
a
good
single
point.
tree up there?
Yeah.
Santa, when making, he didn't choose location based on like beachfront property or like pleasant to live. He wanted to get as far away from all
Lack of
trees,
trees.
as he could. And then he started this whole tree thing. He was like, you know what? The rest of the world needs to be like the North Pole. I'm going to get them cutting down trees.
Okay, so he wanted the world to cut down all the trees.
Also, when he sees the tree after he places your gifts, he is angered and moves on to the next spot. That's how he keeps himself snappy.
And he actually, this year, he doesn't want cookies or milk left behind, only Brazilian beef.
My God. Fresh slice.
Terrible for trees.
Fresh slice.
Yep.
So, Cheery, are you going to be out at the holiday roast?
I will be at the Untold Tales on the 20th at 12 Talons Brewery right there on South Street. I'm not even telling you, it was that old Vampire Laundromat. You remember that Vampire Laundromat that was never open on South Street?
Yeah.
12 Talons is fun, man.
It's a really good spot.
That's a good little
really
spot.
good for comedy. Yeah.
100%.
Doors at 7:30, $5 suggested donation. I will be doing all those roast jokes and a bunch more that I will write because I just burned them all for you guys. And there will be other holiday characters there. For example, I think, like, what was last year? I don't remember. It's a fun show. They'll come out and see it. It's my wife's favorite. Hey, this is Ross.
All right.
There you go. Thank you.
This is my wife's favorite show every year.
Oh, you took off your hat and you didn't change your voice. It's like, all right.
That's what makes it so good. Yeah. Like somebody in there said, somebody in the chat room was completely confused. I was like, is this Ross pretending to be an elf reading jokes? And I'm like, you got it. You nailed it. That's it. You nailed it.
Listen, this is Cheery and this is Ross.
It's very subtle.
This is my wife's favorite show every year because this is the third year doing it. The first year, I took her to it. And boy, I bombed so hard. I bombed real bad, and she thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen in her life.
I remember you telling me this.
I was doing
what was your character?
My character was Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." I'm the guy that she like wants for Christmas, but he wants nothing to do with Mariah Carey, which I thought was funny because if you like break that song down, there's a lot. Like if you like flip sexes and stuff, like there's a lot of that song you'd be like, that's creepy as hell. Like if that dude's saying that about that lady, like,
right.
Yeah, like, calm down, buddy.
So I thought it was hilarious, but the audience, for whatever reason, did not believe that Mariah Carey would want me to that extent, and it did not go very well.
And your wife found it hilarious?
Oh, she thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen, and we're like driving home, and she wouldn't stop talking about how bad I bombed. And then I told her, I was like, yeah, I should have gone with my original idea. I was gonna like roast Christmas songs, and I told her a couple of the jokes I had, and she's like, yeah, why didn't you do that, you dummy? Cheery.
All right. Awesome.
That's why he has a good relationship.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Honesty.
We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Skippy, put my drink down.